WT slaying.
Well, family, the wait is over. The moment has arrived where truth emerges triumphant from the shadows of history. Introducing the True Jerusalem, the lost kingdoms of the Israelites, the groundbreaking work by me, Jacoby Vale, a journey into the past that reshapes the future. I cut through centuries of misconceptions with piercing clarity. This book delivers a compelling case packed with evidence that commands attention and gonna get some respect. Come with me for a second, family, and discover how these thrilling civilizations flourished, protected by towering highlands and sustained by advanced engineering. Some have asked, where is Jerusalem? Is it the land in the Middle East? I say no. It is in the highlands of Ethiopia. With hours of groundbreaking research, this book brings in a new revelation, and it will transform your understanding of African history and its connections to the ancient world. It's going to remove from your mind the conditioning by the Romans of what has really happened to our past. Come with me, family, to the Ethiopian highlands and find out why this is our land. Why things have been hidden and obfuscated for centuries. We are royalty, children of the Most High. What kind of land do you expect us to have? Dried up dirt in the Middle East, or land flowing with rivers? A land full of beautiful animals flowing with milk and honey. Don't miss out on this monumental unveiling. Grab your copy today and stand on the side of truth. Visit Amazon.com or www.tailministries.com to purchase your book and join Jacoby Vale's teachings on Tail Ministries. Family, your journey to hidden history has now begun. So family, get your copy of True Jerusalem, the Lost Kingdoms of the Israelites today. Journey to the heart of Africa, where history and legend converge to reveal the forgotten kingdoms of the Israelites and the true location of Jerusalem.
Salama family, salama, how y'all doing today? Hope you're blessed and highly favored. So make sure you get your copy of True Jerusalem, because there's some things I want to talk about that if you don't get a foundation on the proofs that I bring out in True Jerusalem, I'm not going to do the rest of the stuff I got. I'm gonna just leave it like that, because if you don't get it, if you don't understand what has been happening throughout history, what has been happening in our past, I can't give you what I got. I got more stuff now. I got more stuff that's not even in the book. So y'all might want to get that. And also, we're going to be having this fasting from December 25th to the 31st. We're joining this whole prayer movement here. And on the 31st, we're going to have a prayer. Right. So those who want to participate in the prayer on the 31st, I'm going to put the link out on the 31st. It'll probably, I haven't picked the time yet, but I'll let y'all know. But it'll probably be either 3:30 p.m. or maybe 7 p.m. Central. We'll see. Right. So the fasting going to start on the 25th, ending on the 31st. I'm not telling you what kind of fast to do, whether it be a water fast, a dry fast, or a Daniel fast, whatever the Most High put on your heart, because everybody's different. Everybody's body's different, right? All right. So we're going to talk about crypto. And once again, everything that's going to be discussed here is not financial advice. All right. Brother Fast Nickel, say hi to the fam.
Shalom, everyone.
So, family, what I want to do before Brother Fast Nickel gets started, I want to show two videos because there's a point I want to make about 2025.
They are known as title pirates, and they use forged documents to basically steal your home right from under you.
On this 7 on Your Side Investigates reports, our Carlos Granda explains how it works, how hard it is to fix, and what you can do to help prevent it from happening to you.
It's likely your biggest investment. You buy a home, and when you get that deed, you assume it's safely yours. But sometimes it's not so safe.
The brazenness of this really gets me.
Daniel Rabb and his business partner held the mortgage on a building in Venice. They say the owner never paid, so they filed a foreclosure. That's when they discovered there was a problem. They claimed the person forged a document reconveying the property to him.
We immediately call up the trustee that handled the foreclosure and that had signed this rescission. And she said, that's not us. That's a total fake. In fact, our notary stamp is spelled wrong.
They claim that person was able to file the fake documents with the county, and it went through.
The clerk at the recorder's office needs to be looking at these deeds to make sure there's a notary stamp on it, that the person who notarized it is approved and registered in the state of California as a notary, and the deed also has to be signed.
Arash Sadat is a real estate attorney who says it's a fine balance to make sales and transfers easy, but also to make them safe.
Theoretically, the clerk at the county recorder's office could look up the stamp number. Whether they do that or not every time, I'm not sure.
The system is definitely an honor system, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work to stop fraud. And it puts the onus on the property owner, and the legal system is just not adapted to this modern technology, because now anybody can create notary stamps.
They are sometimes called title pirates, and the FBI says it's happening all over the country. You would think if it's something so obvious, getting a title back should be simple, but it's not. It involves going to court.
The person who forged the deed is now the property owner. So for you to get title back, technically, right, on title. So in order for you to get title back to that property, they would have to either grant you a deed restoring your property, or you have to go to a court and have the court make an order saying you are the title owner of this property.
And of course, that can get expensive.
To take a case, really any case like this through trial, $50,000, $100,000 plus in attorney's fees alone.
For Rob and this fight has already dragged on for months.
If everything goes our way and nothing happens, and we file everything on time and we're astute, it's at best a year, more like 15 to 18 months. And if he puts up any sort of resistance, it could be a couple, 3 years.
County recorders are responsible for verifying the validity of recorded documents pursuant to the government code.
So what can you do to protect yourself? Maggie Becerra is with the Los Angeles Department of Consumer and Business Affairs, and she offers this advice.
Check your property records often. Some local county recorder clerk's offices allow you to search for and review property records in person or online. And make sure you monitor your mail, pay attention to your bills. If you stop receiving a property tax assessment bill, it could mean that somebody may have intercepted your mail, it could have got lost, or it could mean that a scammer may have changed your address.
You can also register with the LA County Assessment.
All right, I'm going to pause it right there because I'm going to ask Brother Fast Nickel a question, and I got another video I want to show after that, and then I'm going to let Brother Fast Nickel go along with it. Now, the question is, why did I show this video? The reason why I showed this video, because what I believe is happening next year, which is the idea of smart contracts. Smart contracts is a part of this whole digital change that we're going through, tied to tokenization, tied to crypto. Brother Fast Nickel, can you tell the family about smart contracts?
Sure. So smart contracts are a way for a service to be honored by both parties, so that it it takes the fraud out that you're seeing with this case here, because both sides have to come to an agreement.
So basically, what we're seeing here is problem, reaction, solution, right? You haven't really heard too much about this as a problem, but now it's a problem. Why? Because there's a change coming. So I want to show this other video so y'all can understand what's happening. Because remember, I did tell y'all we're going to be pushed out, right? All right, so let's do the.
It really does seem like companies are discriminating against Black Americans from the top level all the way down to the internship level, because I've applied to plus internships starting in the summer. I've even kept a Google tracker, and so I could follow up and keep track of all the internships I've applied to. I've had my mentors go over my cover letter, my resume, to make sure everything was good, to make sure I qualified for these positions, and still nothing. Still, oh, thank you for your application. Thank you for your application. Thank you for your application. And when I go look at these companies and their LinkedIn to see who's connected, not one Black person was working for the company or connected. And if they were, they did like freelance work and they were gone within a year. Then they just dropped their spring intern class, and I looked at the class, none of them were Blacks. Then I'm like, okay, maybe it's just this company. So then I go look at the other company that I applied to, none of their interns are Black. So I was like, okay, maybe let me check another company, because maybe they were like, nah, none of the Black applicants were qualified. So I go check the third company, and I'm not kidding y'all, none of them were Black. And then I started thinking, because even Black Americans are not getting hired at basic level jobs like McDonald's and Taco Bell. They're not hiring us whatsoever. So I'm like, they're strategically doing this. Are they? I really don't know. But if they're doing it at an internship level, that is definitely a problem. And folks like to say, oh, DEI is so bad because it gives people of color a privilege. But because of DEI puts pressure on these companies to hire people of color. Because without it, look what you have here. 3 companies dropping their internship class without one person of color. And I'm pretty sure that those Black applicants who applied were qualified, because from a very young age, Blacks are taught you have to be twice as good, you have to work twice as better, you have to be twice as smart. It's literally ingrained in us. So I'm pretty sure a lot of them were qualified. I don't care that I didn't get it, but the fact that there probably was a lot more Black applicants who applied who were way more qualified than me, that they didn't get it is very concerning. And if it's like, come on now, if we're discriminating at an internship level, I fear for my generation. I fear for Gen Z, for real, for real. It seems like LA has like a covert racist problem from all levels, not even just the jobs. Like, it's systemically in the system. It's like, it's weird.
All right. So she's young, she's new. We've been dealing with a lot of this stuff, but if you listen to her, what's going to happen is Project 2025 is going to happen, right? So we're going to see Project 2025 and the Trump 2025 agendas implemented starting next year, probably from the very beginning, which, you know, as I told y'all, I'm a conspiracy theorist. So which is why on, you know, what, those 30 days that the government's supposedly not going to have any money because, you know, Elon Musk and Trump don't want any new laws to pass, right, to finance the system, probably to bring you down to your knees so that when we transfer to the new system, that's just my opinion now. I'm not a prophet. I keep telling you that we switching into the new digital currency system. That's my opinion. All right. I'm going to let Brother Fast Nickel take you on the journey for crypto. Brother Fast Nickel. And this is not financial advice.
Thank you. So before I begin, I want to show you a quick video. Let's see. Try to see if I can. Okay. So this is from Fox Business. Okay, I just want to make sure you see it.
Would you use Ripple to pay for things?
It's not going to do much for retail, and it likely won't be integrated into the payment economy for some time, if ever. At first, it might be best for facilitating cross-border payments. Think institutional support, since it is a stable coin. It has a one-to-one backing with the US dollar that allows it to essentially bridge the gap between digital asset and traditional finance. It could be seen as attractive to banks and businesses involved in cross-border payments and remittances. It allows for a faster settlement time. I was talking to Eleanor Terrett. She knows everything crypto here at Fox Business. She says if you look at Ripple's advisory board, you have big wigs on there, like the former FDIC chair, Sheila Bair. So they're looking to add legitimacy to it.
Mike, I just don't see cryptos as a medium of exchange. You know, we're not going to buy and sell things with
We've
crypto.
talked about it for years that Bitcoin would be used that way. It hasn't as of yet. It's still managed to go up, but I don't see a world at any time soon where we're using that to buy and sell things.
Ripple.
Okay, the reason I wanted to show that is because as me and Brother Yakova are in agreement, the news is not meant to inform you or teach you. It's meant to deceive you. And so if you want to learn what really is going on in the world, you have to go to alternative sources, because what they're telling you, for instance, that they can't see crypto being used in the world, etc. And when I show you what I'm about to show you, especially what's going on in Africa, it's really going to blow your mind, because it's the total opposite of what they just told you on Fox News. Before I begin, Brother Yakova, do you have a question?
Hold on one sec. I'll be right back, Fast Nickel. You can handle it.
Okay. I'm just gonna wait for Brother Yakova to come back. So basically, this presentation is going to be on cryptocurrency, what ISO20022 is, tokenization, and Africa, and how it relates to 2025 and beyond. So after each section, I'm going to have a little question area so that you're able to, I guess, put in the chat any questions that you may have. But I would definitely tell you to take notes, because I'm going to provide a lot of informative information here. But obviously, you can always watch the replay. I'm just going to go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm back. Sorry about that.
No problem. Okay, so I'm going to first start off with cryptocurrency and ISO20022. Now, there are over 10,000 active cryptocurrency tokens out there. And the main places that you can go are coinmarketcap.com or coingecko.com to see what the current value of those coins are, to see if they have a website, to see the market value, all those things that are associated with a coin. Now, every coin has a purpose. So I'm not going to go into the detail, but what you'll see here is they have layer 1 and layer 2, which Bitcoin and Ethereum are layer 1 and layer 2. They have layer 0, which Polkadot, Cosmos, and Avalanche, those are cryptos also. Then you got layer 3, and then you got meme coins, which are, you know, everybody's favorite, like Dogecoin and Shiba Inu. Now, what I have here on the left are a variety of the different cryptocurrency coins, and on the right, those are cryptocurrency coins too, but these are specifically ISO 20022 coins, and there's a reason for that. So you ask yourself, what is ISO 20022? If you go to ISO20022.com, you can find the definition, and here it is. It's basically a worldwide rule book for financial data, ensuring structured communication between institutions, increasing interoperability and efficiency. And it's on the SWIFT network. Now, these are 8 coins that are ISO 20022 compliant as of 2024. I'm just going to read off the areas in red. So when you look at XRP, it's fast, cost-effective, and cross-border transactions. Cardano is security and scalability. Quant facilitates interoperability between multiple blockchains and enterprise software solutions. Now, on our last show, I had told Brother Yakova about Quant, and Quant took off like a rocket ship.
Oh yeah, I didn't expect that, man. Like the next day.
The next day, I wasn't expecting that either. But I bring that up because Quant is unique, and I'm going to show you why. So then you have Algorand, which is immediate transaction finality built for scalability and security. You have Stellar XLM for currency payments, enabling efficient cross-border transactions. You got Hedera Hashgraph, which is HBAR, high throughput and low latency consensus. And then IOTA, not a lot of people use IOTA. IOTA is called the Internet of Things. It facilitates secure sales and trading data streams. And then you have XDC for international trade and finance. Now, the one thing that they all have in common is they all have something to do with the financial sector. Just remember that. Now, I know a lot of people feel as though, okay, the SWIFT is for the West and that the East are going to probably do some kind of BRICS pay, whatever. Well, I just want you to know, when it comes to finances, you have the IMF, International Monetary Fund, you have the World Bank, and then you have the big daddy of banks, which is the Bank for International Settlements, the BIS. All the central banks report to the BIS. And just so you know, the basic 5, the BRIC nations, they're all members of the BIS. And the BIS is heavily involved in crypto. So if anybody thinks that the East is not into crypto, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. So one thing I want to add is, that, the difference between XRP and XLM, which is one thing I found is pretty much this, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, Brother Fast Nickel, that XRP is for the banked, right? It's more centralized, and XLM is for the unbanked, which is the decentralized, right? So people like in Africa will probably have a lot of XLM going, during transactions because they won't have a bank, right? But they have like M-Pesa, right? They have M-Pesa, and M-Pesa may end up, and I'm assuming it's not that way now, may end up becoming a digitized currency as well. So all of these things are going to change, and we're in the process. Even Trump has stated he's pro-crypto now when he wasn't, right? Is that not right?
That is correct. He says that Barron got him into crypto. But I would have to think that you saw my presentation, because I didn't have that wallet in here, but it's definitely being used on the continent for XLM.
Well, let me add this right quick, and I want to get your opinion on it, Brother Fat Nickel. So Rob Strong says they both decentralized. I disagree with that. What's your thoughts?
No, they're centralized because they're part of the banks.
Yeah.
The few decentralized or what's called privacy tokens, they have pretty much almost kind of gone out of existence because they don't want privacy. They don't want you to have privacy. They want to know everything you're doing.
Yeah, and so like for instance, because I was looking at M-Pesa, and I was looking at how any of the cryptos could be used with M-Pesa, because that's what Kenya uses, right, for their people to make their transactions, and it's in their currency, and basically XLM is for those type of systems, right? Because these are people who are unbanked, right? So it makes it where they don't necessarily have to have a bank account.
Correct.
Right.
And when I talk about Africa, I was going to add that into it, but because it was long as it is, I didn't want to. I didn't want to put it. But you're absolutely right.
All right, go ahead, Brother Fast Nickel.
Now, with this slide, it says, "What makes the world go round?" We all know that it's all about commerce and trade. Now, what's the main thing that we know about Revelation 13 and 17? It tells you you can't buy or sell. And that is what ISO 20022 is all about. It's about putting together a system to where through crypto, everything is gonna be attached to a blockchain for them to regulate who can buy and who can sell. Now, when it comes to Bitcoin, most people have heard the term Bitcoin and they kind of wonder what it is. And the bottom line, most people will tell you that it's a store of value. And a store of value is any commodity or asset that normally retains purchasing power into the future and is the function of the asset that can be saved, retrieved, and exchanged at a later time and be predictably useful when retrieved. The purpose of any store of value is to manage risk by ensuring a consistent demand for the underlying asset. Bitcoin is proving to be an intriguing asset for investors because it has been around long enough to gain recognition and support. Now, unfortunately, Bitcoin and most cryptocurrencies are permissionless. They operate on public open source blockchains. These distributed online ledgers are permissionless by design, meaning that there's no restrictions on who can join, manage, or modify them. And the banks don't like that because the banks are into security and making sure that your funds are protected. So instead, the banks love quant. And I'll show you why they love quant. So this article is from Quant's website. It asks about, will banks ever be able to tap into liquidity of permissionless blockchains? Well, without going through the whole article, the bottom line is that Quant's technology provides the necessary controls to allow banks to safely and securely adopt and interact with public blockchains without exposing themselves to significant risk. And that's the key, which Bitcoin doesn't do. That's why Bitcoin won't be used in that manner. It'll just be like a form of digital gold. The reason why ISO20022 coins and banks, compliant tokens such as Quant, Ripple, Stellar are designed with security and compatibility in mind, making them suitable for use in banking and financial systems. And that is why it's those 8 coins that are ISO. They have gone through all of the rigors that the banks need them to have. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't have Ethereum, you shouldn't have Solana, you shouldn't even have Dogecoin. But what I'm saying is that all of the ISO 20022 coins have been vetted for the purpose that the banks need them to be vetted.
So let me ask you this,
Sure.
Brother Fast Nickel. So my theory has been, I'm not saying I'm right because I'm not an expert, family. So, but my theory has been that, and I think we mentioned this in the last show, that Bitcoin is pretty much going to be a store of value, and that's going to be for the rich folks where they can hold their money so that it doesn't change too much, right? And same thing, some of them going to put them in stable coins, but stable coins are right now tied to the dollar. But at some point, I figure they're going to be tied to something else. But I don't think that Bitcoin's going away. I think the use of these different tools, right, within the financial structure is going to change. What are your thoughts?
I totally agree. And as I get into the presentation, you're going to see how they're changing. And when it comes to so one of the things that I'm going to talk about later on in the presentation is what they're doing. So one of the things you can do with crypto is if you need to, if you, let's say you need to sell your crypto right away. You can do that. Now, with Uphold, Uphold is not an exchange like the traditional exchanges, but one of the things that Uphold does that not too many, Robinhood kind of does this a little bit, but what the difference with Uphold is when you put your money in Uphold, you can buy cryptocurrency. So let's say you have $500 worth of crypto, and all of a sudden you want to take $200 of that crypto and buy gold, silver, or platinum. You can buy it through Uphold. And you can buy about 15 to 20 foreign currencies. So you can take your money and convert it instantly into gold, silver, platinum, or currencies, and if it's currently in a cryptocurrency, or you can just onboard cash and do the same.
So, Brother Fast Nickel, what do you think of this right here from Brother Strong? He says BTC is a PSYOP run by the CIA. Stay with the ISO20022 tokens. I'm a comment right quick, and I want to get your opinion. I personally think that Bitcoin is the entry level, but there's too many entries, let's say corporations that are doing business with Bitcoin, like Visa. There's literally transactions, major things being bought by Bitcoin, houses, cars, all these things. You can't get rid of it. I think Bitcoin is going to become it's going to be like gold, right? It's going to be the standard where you park your money, right? That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. What do you think?
No, I agree. I mean, I can even see a world where Ethereum goes away. I wasn't back in 2018, 2019 when I first learned about ISO20022 coins. I really didn't care, but as time has gone on and I've learned more, I'm more both feet in to ISO20022 coins. And as you know, from even before you invited me on your show, all I've been saying is XRP is gonna make me rich.
Oh yeah.
And I stand by that.
Look, Brother Fan Nickel telling me XRP. Well, look, here's the thing. Like I say, don't take financial advice from me because I'm not the one. But my theory is that Bitcoin and Ethereum is going to be for international trade amongst nations, right? That's my theory, right? Because it is decentralized, and the ones who are going to have the right to have decentralized currencies are going to be the nation states. Internally, they're going to use the ISO coins. That's my theory. But okay, go ahead, Brother Vasnik.
So on this screen here, you see the Overledger network, and it shows blockchain. So what makes Quant unique is you have all these different blockchains, like Bitcoin is a blockchain, Ethereum is a blockchain, Solana is a blockchain. So it's different railroad systems. But Quant is the main hub that now they have been able to make all these systems talk. So now the financial system will be able to talk to the medical system, to the entertainment system. Everything is going to be one system, all on the basis of Quant. I'm not telling you what to buy, what not to buy, but Quant, I would not be surprised if Quant is as expensive as Bitcoin, because there is actually less Quant available than there is Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is a limited supply.
So let me ask you this. So a lot of these currencies do have caps. Bitcoin have a cap, Ethereum, right? XRP, they all have these caps. And, from what I see, like even Bitcoin, I think they have it going out to like 2055 until it hits its cap.
2039.
Yeah, 2039. And
yes.
To me, like I say, I'm not a financial expert, but it seems to me the fact that you're going to have less is going to make it more valuable. And then it's going to phase out, but not truly phase out, because nobody will be able to afford it. So the common man going to be on the ISO level coin, the XRP, the XLMs, the stuff like that. That's just my theory. What do you think?
Well, I think that now is the time to get ISO coins because of their cost, but very shortly that will not be the case.
Repeat that again.
very shortly that will not be the case. I think a majority of these cryptocurrencies are going to be so expensive
Yeah.
that if you did like the thing is that I don't know if everybody listening here has some form of crypto, but just the fact that you're listening to this presentation, you are further along than the majority of Americans.
Yeah. So somebody says that Bitcoin has no use case. I disagree. I think Bitcoin's use case is international trade, the replacement of what is the current international trade system? What is
Oh, I know, not Swift.
Swift. That's what I'm thinking about. Swift. I think that Bitcoin is going to be used amongst international, and not just international, but corporations. That's just my theory, because they're not going to want to be dealing with like the pennies, right? And to me, the pennies are the XRPs, the XLMs, which is for the common folks. That's just my theory. So, what do you think?
So the ISO coins will be used from a financial standpoint. The crypto, and it's funny because I was listening to something earlier today talking about the president of gosh, what's it, San Salvador, talking like they were saying how funny it would be if he took a loan from the IMF and took that money and bought Bitcoin and then paid them back. They would hate him for doing that because uh, they don't want him buying Bitcoin. But anyway, I just thought that was pretty funny.
So why they don't want him to buy Bitcoin?
Because he's getting out of their financial grasp. The whole thing is about control. They
Oh
want to control you.
yeah. Because see, that's my theory, right? Is that because Bitcoin is decentralized, that it's the ones who have the rights, which is going to be the corporations and the national governments, that's going to be trading in Bitcoin, where everybody else is going to be dealing with the ISO, because the ISOs are under the control of, they're standardized, right? And because they standardized, they can control who have it, what you can do with it. They're programmable. And
Correct.
So I think that Bitcoin has freedom, which the only ones allowed to have freedom would be corporations and governments. That's my opinion. So
Yes.
anyway.
The best here's one explanation I like to use when someone says, well, it has no use case. I growing up used to collect baseball cards. And a Mickey Mantle rookie card is, I don't know what the current, I think it's over $100,000. But when you look at that card, the truth of the matter is it's only a photo on a piece of cardboard. So why is a photo on a cardboard for Mickey Mantle worth more than Derek Jeter, per se? If we're just talking about photos on a piece of cardboard, it's what the public deems value.
Exactly.
That's really what it is.
And that's what I'm saying, because everything I see says Bitcoin is a store of value, which is like what you do with gold, right? It's going to be a place to park your money for those who have it. Because guess what? Even like right now, you can't afford a coin, right?
Correct.
So Bitcoin is valuable. It's not going nowhere because people have already traded. It's already part of the financial infrastructure. Correct. So the whole idea about XRP and all this and XLM being the way, internally, but there's controls, right? There's security. They blame it on security, right? But it's really control. When they say security, they mean control. They can track it, they can program it, They can do things with it. And so that's going to be the difference. All the ISOs work on a standard of security, right? Which means they can control it and tell you can't buy a hamburger with it. I'm just trying to tell y'all that's the way I see it. I'm a programmer. That's why I look at all this stuff from that viewpoint. But go ahead.
And that's exactly right. So before I get to the next section, do you or anybody in the chat have any specific questions?
So if y'all got a question, put question in front of your comment.
I see somebody asking about hot Tui coin. It's funny. I said, I hope somebody don't bring that coin up. Do you know?
Okay, here's one, Brother Fast Nickel. Do you know about the new digit price tags at the grocery store? Do you know anything about the company giving them that technology?
So I don't know about digit price tags at the grocery store. Is that, I mean, is that similar to barcodes? I personally have not heard of this.
Oh, okay. So somebody asked this, Brother Yacoba, can you make this crypto stuff elementary? I don't understand crypto. Can you make it elementary, Brother Fast Nickel?
So what I've been doing is I have been basically providing a way, and I was going to talk about this at the end, but basically, if they come to my Learn Crypto 101 website, I have basically, for the price of a cup of coffee, have given people the ability to get together with me one day a week and we talk crypto. And it basically gives you the opportunity to ask me any questions and I walk you through this, because the whole reason why I wanted to do this is because it's unforgiving, and I wanted to make sure our people are as well informed and prepared as possible. We can't make everybody, you can bring everybody to water, you can't make them all drink, but
Oh,
at,
yeah, that's
at
for
least,
true. That's true.
yeah, at least you can try your best to say, hey, I tried.
Exactly. Because here's the thing right here, it says wealth transfer going to happen soon, this bull run 2025. Another question says, do you know about the wealth transfer in RV? I'm going to say this. I'm going to let Brother Fast Nickel answer this question. And I think everybody in the white section, right, the white folks, they know what's happening. Y'all don't. The biggest wealth transfer in the history of this planet is about to happen.
Yes.
The other thing that's about to happen is at some point in time, it's going to change and it's going to become oppressive. And then it's going to become part of the social credit system and then the market of beast, which I plan not to be a part of it, right, at that point. But there's going to be a transition stage, like I say. If the mark comes earlier, I'm out, right? But here's the thing. Your dollar going to be worthless, okay? Know this, right? Y'all ain't got to listen to me because a lot of y'all hard-headed, right? Y'all like to listen to them other people, right? The ones who say ain't no second Exodus. I'm trying to help y'all today. Brother Fast Nickel trying to help y'all today. The biggest wealth transfer in the history is about to happen soon. Okay, Brother Fast Nickel, can you answer this question?
And when you think, and what people have to realize is the term wealth transfer is going to come in a multitude of ways. Crypto is just one of many ways the wealth transfer is coming. We just have to be aware. It's the way I like to look at it is when you go outside your yard, you're going to find sticks, rocks all day. But if there's any oil or gold on your land, you got to do a little digging to get it. It's not going to just easily show up on your land for you to find it. And that's the same with the wealth transfer. There's things out there, but you have to be willing to learn and be open-minded. Just because you may not know about something, that doesn't mean it's not happening. And one of the things that I like to use as an example is the NBA and the NFL. When you look at those kids in college, they haven't played one professional game, but yet they're getting paid millions because of perceived value. And the same thing was with crypto. So when you see these coins, when you start to study the use case or the projects that it's involved in, you have to say to yourself, okay, that's something that we need. That is something that makes sense to me. I'm gonna get involved, and that's all you can do.
So let me ask you this, Brother Fast Nickel. So somebody said that XRP decentralized, but from all my research there's a lot of arguments about that because of the way validation is handled on XRP, that it's not truly decentralized. What do you think of that?
So that is what people have been saying from the day I got my first XRP back in 2017, because they call it the banker's coin. But the truth is, it's like saying, hey, the B system, whether you like it or not, we're already in the B system.
Yeah, we've been in the B system.
We've been in the B system. So to say I don't want to be involved with XRP because it's the banker's coin, I don't really see a world without banks. because as I said in one of the slides, it's about commerce and trade.
Yeah, I agree.
Dollar is dead. We will need XRP and others to have some other. And I agree 100%. And
I
that's
agree
why
too.
I'm bullish on XRP.
I'm telling you, I don't think it's gonna be short time. I think in the next 30 days to 60 days, this could happen. I'm not a prophet. I ain't giving no financial advice. I'm just saying, I think once Trump take office, everything changes. That's just my opinion.
I agree. And again, this is not financial advice, but if the dollar, so when you think about the third world countries or emerging markets, although they have their own currencies, they tend to use the dollar. But if the dollar is dying, it's going to force them now to use their currencies. And now they've got to raise the value of those currencies. So if you're holding currencies that are currently worthless today, tomorrow they may not be worthless anymore. And so to me, that's part of the wealth transfer. Like I said,
Yeah, I agree.
it's not coming in just one form. It's coming in many forms.
So right here it says South Korea is buying XRP at $50 a token. I heard that too. I don't get this. Is this true?
That I don't know about that cost, but I do know that these countries are buying it. But so remember, so there's XRP the token, and then there's Ripple the company. So a lot of things are being done from a company standpoint, which is a little different than the tokens.
Okay. So here's a question. Is there really reparations coming?
So I think, Brother Yacoba, your belief and my belief is it's only coming if the Most High, through the Most High. It's not coming because of man.
I agree with 100 on that one. Exactly. So right here it says, how is crypto a way around Revelation 13? It's not a way around Revelation 13. Crypto is leading to Revelation 13. It's just there's going to be a intermezzo, right? There's going to be a pause in between before it becomes the mark of the beast. I'm trying to get that money so I can get the heck out of Dodge.
Correct.
According to my understanding of prophecy, is that the beast system is going to be partly strong and partly weak. That's the Daniel statue, 10 toes, right? So it's not going to be like the white Gentiles been teaching, all in consuming, and there's no place to hide or run. It's just that the majority of the beast nations, which is the Western nations and some of the Eastern, they're all going to be tied up into this global beast lockdown. But in my opinion, the African nations are not, even though they're going to still be trading with some of these nations, but it's not going to be through the beast system and the mark of the beast. That's my opinion. What do you think, Brother Fast Nickel?
Well, when I get to my Africa section, you may feel a little different.
Okay, cool. Let's continue then.
So now we're going to talk about tokenization. Now, on some of your earlier presentations, Brother Yacoba, you've mentioned tokenization. And I don't know if everybody really understands what that truly means.
Yeah, that was about 3-4 years ago, I think.
So the picture at the top of Gilbert Verdian, he is the founder of Quant, and Quant is based out of the UK. Now, that is a YouTube video that I did, and in it, I showed all these different articles that's talking about tokenization and the banks. Now, in this video, they mentioned November 2025 being when all the banks on a world scale need to be conformed. And if you look at the bottom left, that was one of the screens where they talk about stable coins and e-money. So this was one of the first times that in their actual presentations to the banks, they included cryptocurrency. They had never done that before. Now, this is an article from Forbes. This is from March of this year. BlackRock is putting $10 trillion into a tokenized vision. So although the news and your mainstream outlets are not talking about this stuff, it's being done. Need to start working for them dollars. Now, this woman on the left, Danielle Dixon, is the CEO of Stellar. And because I didn't want to, so this, I got this off of LinkedIn. And because I didn't want to worry about any kind of copyright strikes, I just basically to the right put in basically what she's talking about. So this was about a week ago. She was in Congress basically talking about stable coins and how America needs to get on board with this whole stable coin that 180 countries and 475 locations are already using stable coins. So we may think from a US standpoint that nothing's going on, but outside of the US, there's a lot going on.
So let me ask you this, and I think I mentioned it before. If you buy the stable coins, and stable coins currently, at least USDC, I think it is, and the RL USDC are all denominated by dollars.
So,
right?
So it'll be a form of a dollar. So like Ripple just came out with their RLUSD stablecoin. I don't plan to use stablecoins. At least I don't think so. But
yeah, I don't either.
Like I had said to you before, if you let's say you have $500 worth of crypto and it's gone up to 1,000, so now you might say, okay, I'm going to take some of those profits and move them into stable coins so that when we have a dip like we had the last 2 days, you don't lose money. Or you might say to yourself, or you might do like I did. I took those profits and I moved them into other coins that I wanted. So, but everybody does things, whatever works best for them.
Yeah, the reason why I didn't move mine out is because I expected the dollar to crash, so I don't want to be in a something denominated in dollars. That's just me. No financial advice. That's me.
That I agree. So now this article was from 2021, and in this article was Brian Brooks, who is the CEO of HBAR, which he is in a running for one of Trump's cabinet spots, a representative from Coinbase, and Jeremy Allaire of Circle. So Circle is heavy. So Circle has their USDC coin, and Circle, because of security, Circle is heavy into this. And the reason why I have these two red arrows pointing, I want you to see that the two things I'm pointing to is the BIS, the Bank of International Settlements, and the World Bank. So again, the banks are in on this. So if you say to yourself, I'm just going to deal with traditional dollars, we're moving away from that, and everybody who reads the Bible knows that we're going to something digital. So I'm just showing that the banks are all in. Do your own research.
Remember when Diamond, what's his name?
Jamie Dimon.
Jamie Dimon, he was saying don't invest in crypto, but now everybody moving into crypto.
Correct.
See, I'm trying to tell y'all, everybody moving in this. I mean, look, black folks are always the last ones to know, and white folks already got thousands and thousands of dollars in the crypto market. They got assets, that's denominated and tokenized, so and they're going to be releasing their own crypto. I'm telling you, we're going to be last again unless we move smart. So go ahead, Brother Fastnick.
Now, this is from Business Wire. This was from just back in October, where Circle was appointed to the board position on the U.S. government partnership to combat illicit finance. So basically, Circle is in bed with the government. Now, this article from Cointelegraph, this is where when you start to go down the rabbit hole, you'll see all the connections. So Stellar, XLM. So when you hear the name Stellar, that's XLM. So Stellar joins the CFTC, which stands for the Commodity Futures and Trade Commission. So they are now a part of them. And if you go to Stellar's website, you can read, they have a bunch of articles. This particular one talks about blockchain and how they're now a part of the CFTC. And that Stellar is the only blockchain represented on this committee. Now, Coinbase also, so here's what's it hasn't happened yet, but here's what's in the works. So they're in the works of backing up silver to Stellar. So right now, there's nothing backing up Stellar, but when XRP, Stellar, the talk is that gold will back up XRP, silver will back up Stellar, diamonds will back, I forgot what diamonds were going to back, but when they go to this new system, it's not the crypto is going to be used for a blockchain point of view, but they're going to use real world assets to back this stuff up, because they don't want to go, because if not, all they're doing is switching one bad system for another. Now, this is the CFTC. This is from their website. And if you go to the CFTC website, they have a section called Digital Asset Market Subcommittee. And when you go there, you're going to see that BlackRock, NASDAQ, Moody's, these are all financial institutions. They're all part of it. And so is Stellar. So again, follow the rabbit trail. And Stellar is an ISO coin. So as the gentleman in the chat said, hey, I didn't feel this way a few years ago, but more and more, my feeling is I'd rather have ISO coins than any coin.
Yeah.
Now, this is a company out of South Africa, Damrev. I brought them up because they're doing a couple of things of interesting. But when you go to their website and you go to RWA, which stands for Real World Asset Tokenization, I highlighted it. And if you look, they are tokenizing agriculture, carbon credits, food, commodities, gemstones, minerals, payments, and remittance. The plan is they are about to tokenize everything and anything. That is the game plan. So I think by 2030, that will all be in place. And that's why, Brother Yacob, when you say, hey, I want to have my exit plan before 2030, that's perfect timing, because I think that this is all going to be like they're working hard behind the scenes right now, but I think it's all going to be in place by 2030. So that's their rollout.
Well, that's their stated goal with the Agenda 2030 deadline for all of this stuff.
Yes. Now, if you notice at the bottom, the two companies, Stellar and Circle. Now, they have just done a $2.4 billion tokenization deal to tokenize United States alluvial gold. So that's one deal that they just did, and another is in Nigeria. They have tokenized a Namibia copper mine. So there's a lot going on the continent. And so if you look at the very bottom where I have the arrow, it says that they focus on ISO20022 blockchain tokenization. Any questions?
Yeah, so excuse me. So my thought is that when it comes to the tokenization on the continent, that the way the continent runs, just like, for instance, you can't, except in certain places, you can't really own the land. You can lease the land for like 50 years, 100 years, or whatever it is. And, that's just sort of the way they do things. I think a lot of that may still be in play on the continent, and they're going to be part of the financial structure because they're definitely going to be doing trade with other nations. But my thought is just, not saying I'm correct, but based upon the prophecies that they're going to be more decentralized than centralized. And so this will be the benefit for us, that we will not be forced to take the mark of the beast. What's your thoughts on that? Because I think a lot of people's concern is we could see the mark of the beast on the horizon, right? But I'm going based upon my understanding of scripture, and I believe that Africa will be the safe haven, and therefore it will not be have to make the decision of the mark of the beast. What's your thoughts on that?
I agree. From the information that I'm about to show with Africa, Africa is a lot more involved than I ever thought. But with that said, I do believe that those who are under the wings of the Most High are going to be protected on the continent, because the continent is the one area outside, I would say outside of Antarctica, that really is not. They don't have all the technology in place that's necessary. So how long does that last, or how long does that give us? I don't know, but I do see that area is the safest, especially because you've talked on your show about the 15-minute cities, but I mean, they're even talking about 15-minute cities on the continent. Not every single country on the continent, but I think Tanzania and
Yeah.
another country, they're talking about
Kenya.
15 minutes. Kenya, that's it. They're
Yeah.
talking about 15-minute cities.
Oh,
All
yeah.
those that are connected with the UN.
Yeah. Exactly. So, my theory is that some of the safe places are going to be places like Burkina Faso, Mali, the rebel nations right now, what they call them, right? Or the revolutionaries, and it may be all of West Africa. I don't know. But here's the thing. One of the things that struck me, which I didn't expect, was that as the new president of Ghana came in and kicking out the French, right, in the West out of Ghana, I didn't expect that because Akufo-Addo was, their little playboy, right? And
Right.
so now all of a sudden there's a shift more so on the West being anti-West, right? I mean, I'm talking about West Africa being anti-Western nations. And so to me, I think that's where our alliance is really going to be. But what I do expect is that all of sub-Saharan Africa is going to divest from the beast system. And really, they're going to trade amongst themselves the most. And so they won't be a part of the beast system. That's my theory, right? That's what's going to happen. Because if you look at the statue of Daniel, right, most of the statue of Daniel is Gentile nations, right? Then you have the 10 toes, which are made up of Gentile nations, but part of clay and part of iron, right? So there's going to be this division with the 10 toe kingdoms, which I believe to be bricks. So, yeah.
Well, based on what you said, what you're saying, and we know that a week or two ago it was announced that Burkina Faso is now debt free, and they didn't need the West help
Exactly.
to be debt free.
I didn't expect that, man. I'm like, that was quick.
Yeah, and I think that they're going to be the model now for all the other African countries to do the same.
Yeah, exactly. And so here's the thing what people got to understand, and Brother Fast Nickel and I talked about this on a personal level. We're not telling y'all to do anything, but basically this is our way out. We're not trying to stay in the system, but we know we got to use the system, right, to get out of here, right? We're going to need money. We're going to have transactions, but we're planning our way out. Y'all can wait on the Exodus all you want. Like I say, I don't know how that's going to manifest. I gotta walk the path that the Most High lays for me. You do you. And look, here's the thing, Brother Fast Nickel. I'm gonna say this because I know how some of my enemies are. They're gonna say, tell ministries teaching the mark of the beast and joining the mark of the beast system. No, I'm not. All I'm saying is you already in the system. I'm saying your system's going through a change, right? And it's as it always was, leading to the mark of the beast, and you're not at the mark of the beast yet. You better set yourself up to be able to survive outside the mark of the beast and set up communities and land and food and water where you're not reliant upon the infrastructure that they're building.
Correct. Now, this part, I'm looking forward to talking about Africa because I learned a lot about Africa that I was not expecting. So I think everybody is going to be a little surprised about what I show you when it comes to Africa. So according to Business Insider, report that ranks that Nigeria and South Africa are high in global crypto ownership. Crypto adoption in Africa has continued to improve over the years with rising ownership rates among blockchain enthusiasts. Now, this article just came out a few days ago. This is from December 11th. Now, from Africa.com, again, Nigeria and South Africa lead global crypto ownership rankings. So when they show over here that Consensus did a report showing that Nigeria and South Africa are among the top countries globally, not just Africa, but globally for cryptocurrency ownership. I was surprised by that.
Yeah, they were the first ones, back in, I think, 2019, 2020, because their currency always was highly devalued. And so a lot of their people was buying crypto. Then they made it illegal for a bit.
Yeah, and they do that with China and South Korea. Like 1 minute it's legal, then they make it unlegal. But I was surprised to see this. Now, when you go to finance, again, Nigeria and South Africa leading the way in crypto ownership in 2024. And with this article from Crypto Potato, it's talking about the emerging markets. So Nigeria, South Africa, the Philippines are driving crypto adoption with high awareness and ownership rates. This is per Consensus.
So here's the thing. Let me ask you this fast, Nickel, because this is what I see, right? I look at everything prophetically and all this stuff. This is the rise of our people, right? Because remember, we're going to be the head and not the tail. So now that the system is changing and everything is going to be tokenized and backed by a resource where there's gold, uranium, food, cocoa, whatever, those who have the resources are now going to be rich. It's not those who have the paper dollars.
Correct.
Right?
They're going to be the head.
Yeah, they're going to be the head.
And that's why they're tokenizing all the commodities and all the resources.
Yep. So it's easily tradable, right? So now it's not that difficult to trade.
It's easily tradable. Now, again, through Consensus, they're saying that half the population in Nigeria, 84%, South Africa, 66%, Vietnam, 60%, the Philippines, 54%, India, 50%, report owning a crypto wallet in 2024. That wallet ownership in America is highest in the US at 43%, while Turkey leads the European countries. Now, I put a note saying what this does is it shows increased rate of adoption. And when people own wallets, like people who go out and buy a cold wallet as an example, these are people that are much more committed than just, hey, let me just buy a little XRP, make a few dollars and sell it. Like these are people, when you go out and get yourself a cold wallet and understand this stuff, you're more committed than the normal person.
And you know what's going to make this hard for most of our people is that most of our people are not technologists, right? So when they think of these things, they can't, it's hard for them to understand what's happening. And look, I'm a programmer. I get it, but it's still complex. So I can imagine those who have not been in the industry to have to understand, hey, I just want to be able to buy and sell, right? I just want to go buy a hamburger. I don't care about none of this, right? But here's the thing. It changes everything. It changes your ability to buy a hamburger. It changes your stock portfolio. It changes how ETFs work. Everything is going to change. And what they're not telling you is not going to be 10 years from now. It's going to be probably less than a year from now.
Now, I don't know, because I think I forgot to put it in the presentation, but I have it in one of my videos that the United States has deemed March 10th is the date that all U.S. banks are switching over to ISO20022. Now, does that mean that on March 10th we're going to notice? No, it might be business as usual, but from behind the scenes on the banking sector, they've already said the mandate that as of March 10th, they will have flipped the switch here in the U.S.
Exactly. And let me tell y'all this. So a lot of people confuse, and I understand because I didn't understand stocks. I didn't know how to invest. I didn't know where to go to invest, right? And so we don't know these things, right? And it's happening again. Just like when the stock market came in, we were not a part of it, right? And all of them folks made all the money. It's happening again,
It's happening
right?
again.
And they plan on leaving us in the dust, family, right? So we're trying to let y'all know what's happening. Because guess what? Because it's complex, a lot of people going to ignore it. And a lot of people going to lose their 401ks, any savings they have, their property going to be devalued because everything going to be tokenized and they're going to change the tax system. It's crazy, I'm telling you. But understand this. You got to get a foundation. I reckon, and I guess after the show, you can show them your website, Brother Fast Nickel, where you have an educational platform. You have, at the very least, got to have a basic understanding of what's going on.
Yes, because it's unforgiving. If you do something wrong, there's no one to call. There's no 800 number to call. And
yeah. This is a good point right here. We were part of the commodities.
We were the commodities.
That is true.
That's right. Now, Stellar. So here's what's interesting about Stellar. So Stellar has what they've incorporated called DFS Labs. They might not have a tax on American crypto. Trump. Yes, that is the talk, and I hope that is the case. That they're not gonna, because that's one thing that Trump is talking about, of not taxing the U.S. cryptos.
That'd be great, huh?
That'd be awesome. So now, Stellar is working in Africa. Now listen to this. This is important. They're working in Africa from an educational standpoint with young tech-savvy individuals. So they are in line with the Black African youth to basically take their knowledge or bring them into the fold to
this is good information here, because this is the unbanked individuals. So
yes.
XLM is going to rise crazy.
Yes, XLM is going to rise. XLM is doing a lot. So this article from TechPoint, so Algorand, that's another ISO20022 coin. They're driving blockchain adoption in Nigeria. And again, I'm showing you this because I didn't even know until I started doing my research how invested Africa really is in crypto.
Yeah, I didn't know it was this much either. I knew they were. Wait, hold on. Wait, M-Pesa leverages Ripple? I said that. I didn't even know this.
Yes, that's why when you mentioned it, yeah, so the FinTech Times with Ripple, they have partnered with the UAE. And when you looked at Crypto Newsflash, M-Peso, this is with Ethiopia, XRP adoption in Africa. Now look at this. The African Blockchain Report 2022 report by the CVVC in collaboration with South Africa Standard Bank reveals that Ripple and XRP are already utilized in 13 African countries. Look at the countries that Ripple is in: Burkina Faso,
wow,
Benin, Egypt, Ghana, Kenya, Mali, Nigeria, Senegal, South Africa, Togo, and Uganda.
I never knew this. Wow, they're ahead of us. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, this thing moving faster than I thought, family.
Now, this is where you're really going to drop your jaw. XRP is embedded in the healthcare. So if you go to xrphealthcare.ai, you can download the app. So what is XRP Healthcare? It's the first healthcare platform built on the XRP ledger, revolutionizing global health with blockchain, AI, and strategic mergers and acquisitions. In the US, our prescription savings card makes medications more affordable. Now look at it. CVS is involved, Walgreens, Walmart. That's the main hubs of your pharmacies.
So let me ask you this, Brother Fast Nickel. Is this going to be used as financial transactions or something else?
So it's going to be both. XRP is going to be used for financial. It's going to be used in the financial sector, but they're also using it from a blockchain perspective. Now, this is the US. This is their app. You can go and download it right now and use their app. But so there's your guy, Elon Musk on the cover.
The false prophet.
Now,
Prophet with an F.
look what flag we have here for XRP Healthcare Africa, Mali. All these companies are all in XRP Healthcare Africa, and it's all going to run off the XRP ledger. That's one of the reasons why XRP is going to be so valuable.
Okay, so explain something to me if you can. How is XRP going to be used on the ledger if it's not financial? Is it that services themselves are going to have a token and that's why they're going to have XRP? I don't get it.
Yeah, so that's why everything is being tokenized, and so it'll all run through the blockchain or ledger.
So if I go to the hospital,
I'm trying to keep it simple.
Yeah, so if I go to the hospital and I need surgery, that surgery going to have a token on it?
So
is that how, I don't get it.
how this XRP healthcare is going to work, I haven't dug deep enough to know. Does that mean we have to? I think so. That's where stable coins come in. I think the same way you now use your Visa card and everything happens when you put your card into the terminal, you don't really care about what's going on behind the scenes because it's all done for you. And I think that through the stable coins, everything is going to work, and the XRP ledger, that's why XRP was racing to get their stablecoin out on the market.
Wow, I just thought of something, and I think this is crazy, but are we going to end up walking into a hospital, right, or something, and you're going to need some kind of service, and they're not going to ask you to pay? They're going to automatically deduct it from your account.
Yeah, they're not going to need, because now they're going to know there's nothing going to be private anymore.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's the end of the actual presentation. What I wanted to do, well, before I show you the next thing, Brother Yakova, do you have any other question, or does anybody in the chat have any specific questions?
So with the XRP already being used with M-Pesa, I'm like, I really didn't know. I'm like, this is huge, right? And so let me ask you this. So are they going to also use XLM? Because it seems XLM is designed more so for the unbanked, and XRP is for the bank. So I guess you're going to have these different classes of individuals, right? Those who are banked, who are probably the middle class and upper class of the African economy, right, who have bank accounts. But then you're going to have the unbanked, which are those who work on the streets, who trade in M-Pesa right now, right? So would they end up having XLM for that and XRP for the bank?
So the great thing is that they all intertwine in the sense that you can convert one into the other.
Yeah.
So
but let me ask you, what's with the use case for XLM being for unbanked? Why is it that way, right? Because I know that XRP is designed for the banked. So is that because one is tied down to having an account and the other you don't have an account? Is just, like in M-Pesa right now, you just have money in a bucket and you could go spend that money anywhere you want. You don't have to have a bank account. So I would assume for that part, it would have to be XLM, which is the unbanked, like the people selling, fruit on the corner. But then the banked people, which is those who have a job and stuff, and they have XRP to do their transaction. Is that how it's going to work?
So I don't necessarily know. What I do know is that XLM is considered or called the little brother of XRP. and what they were mainly all about back in 2018, 2019 is cross-border payments. And that's why I think it was XLM that had purchased MoneyGram, because MoneyGram is the company that everybody goes when you're looking to send money to another country. And so XLM bought out or partnered with MoneyGram. So at one point, they were mainly for cross-border payments, but as you can see, they have morphed into much more than that.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah, I think we're in some interesting times for sure.
what I want to show you is, let me see, let me share this screen first. Well, I think we're hoping that we own nothing because we paid everything off.
Well, that's why I say I'm trying to get out this system before 2030, at least the American side, the Western side, because I don't think you're going to have any freedoms. And I think what's going to happen is, this is just my theory. Let me ask you this before we get to the next thing. With wallets and cold wallets, right? Everyone talk about putting your money there so it could be secure. Now, here's my theory, right? And like I say, I'm not an expert. I'm just a programmer, so I think about all this stuff. So I think the biggest issue is, you know how you got the validators, right? And how some of the validation for XRP is going to be through Ripple. Could they not flag the crypto that you have on your cold wallet so it's not available, right? But, you know, if you line up, then it can make it available. So even though you have it on the wallet, you think it's safe, but the validation says it's not valid until you meet a certain criteria, then it becomes valid. I mean, what do you think of that?
So from a cold wallet standpoint, no. But if you have to eventually bring that from a cold wallet,
yeah, you got to trade with it, right?
Right.
You got to trade. Yeah.
So eventually they get you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can have it on the wallet, but if you can't use it on the network.
Right. So the only thing that you may be able to do is do peer to peer, and where you'll say to somebody, "Hey, you know what, man? Give me this, a loaf of bread from you, and I'll give you X amount of XLM." And you just do a peer to peer transfer.
And then they're gonna say, once he have it, this is not a valid token, even though you have it. It's not a validated token, so therefore you lose money. So they're gonna stop. They're gonna force them to validate your token before they do trade with you. That's my theory, right? I'm like,
well, I'm not gonna disagree with you, because we know that eventually you can't. So the whole goal, I think, for you and I and a lot of us on this call is to get to a point where we have our assets paid in full, to where we can get around their system as eventually eventually they may get you, but if the Most High is going to protect you, that's where it's more important than ever to be under his wings.
yeah, that's why I want to buy a bunch of land, buy a home, get some land, and grow my own fruits, vegetables, have my own water supply and house. So if I got to pull from the system, I own that land. Because in Africa, at least certain countries, they don't tax you, right? So it's yours. And I don't know how long we survive that way, but my understanding is we're going to be blessed when we go back to the land. So I don't see it becoming super oppressive in the market of beast being on the continent. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I'm theorizing. Y'all, I like to theorize. Y'all know that, right? So don't put nothing in my mouth that I didn't say. But go ahead, Brother Fastnick.
So this is my website, learncrypto101.info. I built this back in 2021. And what I want to show you is a couple of things. So one is, I have a one-on-one consultant that I also will give you that if you were to download this video. So what this video does for someone who's totally new into crypto and they want to understand Coinbase or understand wallets, understand NFTs, that it'll do that. But anyone who was to do a one-on-one, I would provide that for them free. But what I'm looking to do starting in January is basically on Mondays have a Q&A, and I'm basically charging a cup of coffee for it. And so basically, whoever wants to come on a Monday at 7:30, I'm basically going to be there to ask me any questions that you may have, or give you the best direction I can for whatever it is that you're trying to do. Now, what I have at the very bottom is some blog articles. So I want to show you this first. So this blog
And
article.
before you continue, can you put your link in the chat?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm gonna tell y'all this. The good thing about Brother Fast Nickel is he's very patient, right? So like if you're new to it and you feel sort of frustrated, he'll work with you and help you understand without feeling bad, right? So for me, I'm not the best in it either. I'm learning from Brother Fast Nickel as well as doing my own research. So, but he's very patient with you.
And after we spoke, I guess 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had 2 people reach out to me, and one of them who was into crypto, but he told me how excited he got back into crypto because of my enthusiasm got him back into crypto. And another woman who had some crypto and didn't even realize it had been on a Coinbase wallet for like 3 years. She didn't even know she had it. So I walked her through how to remove it. And so those kind of things that I can do in my sleep, for most people, it's not that easy for them.
Oh yeah, it's not a simple topic. And like I say, I'm in IT and I understand the concepts, but it's a lot.
Yeah. So I'm just doing it from my phone so I can get to the chat, because I couldn't get to the chat from a desktop.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So it should be in the chat now. So at the very bottom of that website, I have my blog articles, which are basically what when you go to my YouTube channel, I also have them as blog pieces. But what I want to show you is where it says US exchanges. So let's hopefully, when I click it, will it open? Yes. Okay.
Yeah. I don't see a link in the chat.
So I see a link. Well, I just see learncrypto101.info. Do you see?
Do y'all see the link in there, family?
Let me see if so I couldn't. Maybe Brother Yacob, I'm gonna put it in the private chat, and maybe you.
Okay, yeah, I'll paste it in. That'd be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you look at this particular blog post, what I've done is I've got these 3 columns. One is called US-based exchanges, learn about tokens, and tools. So most people are familiar with Coinbase and Uphold. And the reason why I have Uphold here is because on Uphold, like I said, you can purchase crypto, you can purchase gold, silver, or platinum, and you can purchase about 20 different foreign currencies. And if you just purchase some crypto and now you want to convert it to gold or silver or convert it to a foreign currency, you can do all of that instantly. And that is one of the things that they are working on, because you can do that in crypto, but you can't do that in traditional finance. So if you have your money in a stock and all of a sudden the stock market is plunging, generally you got to call your broker or try to put a stop loss in, and you have to depend on somebody. With crypto, you can do everything yourself. And so what they're planning to do is the same methodology that you have within crypto and exchanges to be able to do that everywhere, so that people who are into traditional finance, they can move their money amount around instantly as well. So let's see.
So let me ask you this, Brother Fast Nickel. So the volatility of, and this is just my theory, and I want to know what your thoughts on it. The volatility of crypto will decrease over time because more people are going to get in it. What do you think?
Yes. So to me, the reason why it's volatile is because of the whales. They have a term called whales. These people with a lot of money who could move the market. So they're what you would want them is, it's called over the counter. You would want them to buy crypto over the counter so it doesn't affect the pricing. But when they do, when they make these big large moves, like Michael Saylor, when he buys a billion, multi-million dollars worth of Bitcoin, he's generally buying it over the counter, so it's not really affecting the price that much. So the best way to example of this is when you look at meme coins. When these meme coins go from like nothing and they just like straight up like a ladder, and that's because they just flood it with all this volume of money, and then that's where you hear this term rug pull, and they just take their funds out. But that's a whole nother story. So these are all the U.S. based exchanges, and the way they work is where it says learn about tokens. I have CoinMarketCap and I have CoinGecko. So I'm going to click on CoinMarketCap as an example. I hope it changes, or do I need to? Okay, so I might have to just change the screen.
What happened here? I think Brother Fast Nickel dropped out for a sec. Wait for him to come back.
Sorry about that.
All right. So you wanted to share something?
Yeah. So this is CoinMarketCap. So whenever you're curious to know how much a crypto is, you can come to CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. And on my blogs at the bottom of my resources, I have those links. So you don't have to worry about remembering all these links. I put them at the bottom of my blogs. So if you go to any of my blogs, you can see those links. Now, when you come here, you'll see all these different coins and what they're going for. But what you don't know is where you can buy it. So to know where you can buy it, you would just go to markets. So for instance, let's say you wanted to buy XRP, and I click on XRP. It's going to show you the price. That's the price. And it's going to show you right next to where it says chart, you're going to see markets. When you click on markets, these are all the markets. So it calls it markets, but it's the exchanges. So on my website where I had those listing and I had Uphold at the bottom, those are all the different exchanges that you can buy crypto. And
is this a free site?
Yes, it's all free.
Okay.
Now, what you can also do, and this is when people sign up for my one-on-ones, etc., Like if you want me to sit down and hold your hand and walk you through this stuff, I'm more than happy to do it. If I mean, the way I learned it is spending hours upon hours on YouTube. But a lot of people, you know, they want instant gratification, and they don't want to have to go searching for the information. They just want to be told how to do it or where to find it. So that's what I'm here for. But you can see that these are all the different exchanges. And so I put a list of all the US based exchanges of where you can find this stuff. Now, here's the one thing I want to show you that I feel under tools, let me go back to my site.
He dropped again. 1 sec for him. Oh yeah, everybody need the basics. Definitely, you got to have the basics.
You know, every time I get to hit it hits the leave studio.
Yeah.
Okay. So where it says US based exchanges, those are all the exchanges that you can buy the cryptos that you want. They're going to ask you for your driver's license or a passport, and that's called KYC, which means know your customer. They basically want to know who you are. Where it says learn about these tokens, that's the links to CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. Now, the one thing I want to show you is coinglass.com today. So I want to show you this site because I feel it's very, it's something interesting to know. So right here, we're looking at Bitcoin monthly returns. And it starts at 2013 all the way to 2024. Now, earlier, Brother Yakoba, you asked me about when will the mining of Bitcoin end, and I told you 2039. So every 4 years, there's what's called a halving, which means that the supply of Bitcoin reduces by half. So there was a halving in 2016, there was a halving in 2020, and there was a halving in April of 2024. So what I want to show you is this. If you look at 2016, when they had a halving, at the end of 2016, Bitcoin was in the green. Do you see that? Do you see?
Yep.
Okay. So then in 2017, January was in the red, but February was in the green, right? Now, if we go to 2020, 2020 was a halving year. The last 3 months of 2020 was in the green, and then the first 3 months of 2021 is in the green. So now this is a halving year. And we looked at from September on to December, we're all in the green. So think about it. September, Bitcoin was about 65,000. It jumped up to 107 in 3 months. I mean, I know it dipped down to around 85, but that doesn't worry me at all. But what I'm showing you here is if history repeats itself like it normally does, the next 3 months, January, February, March of 2025, we should see green. So this is not financial advice, but for instance, for me, when I have a little extra money, I'm loading up because this is the year, in my opinion. Now, you may have heard, you know, there's the rumbling that they want to crash the system before Trump gets into office, or as he's in office, and all of that may be true, but I'm still holding on to my crypto because I know that even if they do that, that the cryptos are going to be, because so we've never talked about this, but if you remember the 1988 cover of The Economist, where they had the phoenix coming out of the ashes,
Yeah, I remember that.
If you think about what that phoenix was wearing around its neck, it was wearing a crypto coin.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even remember. Yeah.
So
Wow.
when everything crashes, crypto and the new financial system is what's going to come out of the ashes.
Wow. I remember that cover. I didn't even notice it was a crypto, but you're right that I think about it.
Yeah, if you do a Google search for that cover, that 1988 cover, I mean, it's a famous cover. But when you look at what's going on, so March, the US banks are already said March 10th, they've given that deadline that March 10th, they're turning the switch. Again, I don't know what that means for us as individuals. We may not see anything, but the November of 2025 is when they're going to turn the switch uh, internationally.
So
And
let me ask you this. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I
I
didn't
was
mean
just
to
gonna say,
interrupt.
and as you said when we first opened up, there's so much craziness on the books for 2025.
Yeah. Yeah. So Brother Rob says the principal thing known as XRP has no counterpart risk, can't be clawed back, jurisdictionless, can't be owned by no country. What do you think of that? I mean, I do agree with that, but I mean, to me, there's other coins as well, like Quant. Even though Quant isn't cheap anymore, right?
No, it's not
But
cheap.
but I think it's gonna go higher, right? I think it's gonna be crazy. So
It's gonna
if
go
you,
higher.
yeah,
I own a few quant, but
yeah,
XRP, you know, I'll say it until I can't talk anymore. XRP is the coin that's gonna make me a
the
millionaire.
millionaire, yeah. I think that's what. But let me ask you this: this how I feel, and I don't know. I do agree with you, but since everybody's saying that, it's probably going to be something else that's going to be the big runaway. That's my thought, right? Because everybody focused on XRP, and I'm not saying it's not going to do good. I do believe that, but I think there's going to be another avenue that's the runaway hit. Maybe Quant. I don't know if it is, but just my thought.
So I can see quant going up to the levels of a Bitcoin.
Yeah,
Just to give you an example, yesterday I took about $400 from some of my coins and converted them into XLM, and today I bought $100 of XLM. So
yeah,
I'm I'm into XLM. I just at one point I had a lot of XLM and I sold it because it just wasn't doing anything. But now as I've done more and more research on ISO coins, I'm more bullish on owning them. Again, if I own Solana or Ethereum, yeah, I can make some money, but I think from a from the long term and just seeing what they're doing from a tokenization standpoint, it's the ISO coins that you
yeah,
want to own. And even though they're like when you look at those ISO coins right now, XRP is $2.29. Stellar is 37 cents. I mean, Stellar's at an amazing. I mean, a month ago, Stellar was at 9 cents. So it's almost 4x in a month. Algorand is at 35 cents. So these are the ISO coins. XDC is at 7 cents. I mean, these are the kind of coins, these are the prices that you want to load up because I believe that what they're planning to do is once they put resources behind these, one day you're going to wake up and these prices are going to be unobtainable.
yeah. I agree. It's going to be unattainable, and but here's the thing: and I'm looking at this like I say, I look at things from a programmer's viewpoint. Each one of these coins have a use case, so I know each one of these are going to be used. But what is the highest value of use cases, right? And so,
Quant.
like for instance, yeah, that's what I'm saying exactly. Quant. Like I say, I'm not telling you to do nothing because I'm not the person to take financial advice from. But just looking at how we dealt with ISO standards with computer programming, and how certain standards apply in certain cases, right? And that's why we say use case, right? And when I look at everything, that's why, sometimes I might be out thinking myself because I do that sometimes. But even like with Bitcoin, so from my research, Bitcoin is sort of going to fade, but it's not going away. Bitcoin is going to be the store of value. That's my opinion. I don't think it's going away. I think it's going to be the store of value. But I think the ones that's going to turn over all the time is those ISO coins, right? And everybody's going to be using those ISO coins. Those are going to be the ones that's traded every day. Bitcoin is probably just be a store of value. So that's just my opinion. We'll see how things change, because here's the thing. They'll change the laws on us and change the rules next week, right? So
Yes, that is so true.
yeah.
You know, people. So this is my philosophy. You know, it's just my philosophy. Everybody just does it the way they want. So I guess people are maybe a little surprised when I say I own very little to no Bitcoin. I mean, at one point I owned a full Bitcoin, but now I don't, because my philosophy is I want to get the money I need to move on. And Bitcoin at 100,000, if I put $100 into Bitcoin, it's got to go to 200,000 just for me to double my $100.
That is true. That's true. That's true.
Whereas,
yeah, it's too late to really buy Bitcoin and make a profit. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
But
here's the thing. Let me ask you this though: as a store of value for people who got money, right, is probably good.
Correct. So for those people, but even for you and me. So let's say for instance, you put $1,000 into XRP, and now a month later that $1,000 is worth $5,000. You can do one or two things. You can leave it all in XRP and just let it ride, like if you were at the casino, or you can say to yourself, okay, I just 3x my money. So now I still want to keep XRP, but I want to take 1 or 2,000 of it and move it into Bitcoin, because I'm doing that because this is my long term.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you're saying once you get, like, let's say you get 100,000 in XRP, profit wise,
right?
You can probably store it as a Bitcoin,
correct?
As
you
a store value,
correct. So back in 2017, I took $7,000 and turned it into 20,000. And the way I did it, I didn't have a lot of money to keep investing. So what I did was I was constantly looking at the coins, and as coins were going up in value, I would take my profits and move them into other coins that I wanted, but I didn't have the money. So I take profits, buy them, and as they go up, that's how I was increasing my wealth.
So what do you think of this? I do believe, you should keep your XRP as much as you can, but if you could roll over some in BTC, should you?
So there's this government insider that he's been pretty accurate on the things I've heard him say, because he has said things before it's happened, and it's happened exactly how he said it. And he said the two things to own is XRP and Bitcoin. He said you don't need to own anything else. Now, I'm not telling you that's what you should do, but again, what have we said on your shows in the past? Diversify. So
diversify.
Some people may not want to take, like for me, when XRP gets to those kind of levels, I want to be able to give some to my daughters for their protection. But I may take a little bit and move it into Bitcoin just because I want to diversify. Yeah. But I'm not looking to put it into any and every coin.
Yeah. So that some people say that, and I don't know if this truly gonna happen, but some people were saying that Bitcoin can hit $1 million a coin. What do you think?
I was thinking that we might see that by 2035. But the way things are going, it actually might even happen sooner, because they're talking about $250,000 a coin within 3 years.
Yeah.
I mean, as the dollar crashes, Bitcoin is going to go up even faster.
Yeah. And see, that's my thing is, when you look at use case, because that's what we're dealing with computer programming, y'all. We're dealing with, the whole way, we do with programming and, the ISO standards and all these things and use cases. when you look at everything, and as I said, there's billions of dollars right now in Bitcoins. It's not going anywhere, right? It's just that you won't be able to get into it, right? Unless you have hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? And so that's why, to me, what I see, yeah, for the average man at this point is not a reasonable investment. But probably in the future, like let's say XRP makes you a millionaire, you might want to take some of that and put it in there as a store of value, because you're not going to be able to own gold anymore, right? You're going to own a reference that you own gold, or a token that says you own gold, right? And the gold going to be held somewhere else, and you can trade it. Same thing with smart contracts, right? For houses. You ain't gonna have an official deed anymore. It's all gonna be smart contracts, and you can just go to a coffee shop and trade your house and say, okay, here's your money, here's your tokens, here's your new house. Things are gonna be totally different, family, and it's gonna be happening soon. What do you think of that, Fast Nickel?
It is. Now, one of the coins that I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation was Cosmos. So Cosmos is a coin that I've owned in the past, and I don't really have much Cosmo anymore. But I bring it up because the talk was that Cosmos is going to be, I don't think it's not, I haven't seen anything to say that it is, but the talk was that it was going to be ISO20022 compliant, because the banks were going to use it to turn mortgages into NFTs to work on smart contracts.
Why would you make it an NFT?
Because NFTs are they're unique. Not every NFT is the same. That's what makes an NFT, which stands for non-fungible token. Each one has something unique about it that makes it different from the rest. So if you see 1,000 of a coin, of an NFT, there's something unique about all 1,000 of them. So like a dollar bill, if I have a dollar bill, you have a dollar bill, you and I can swap dollar bills and it's still worth $1. But an NFT, there's something unique which gives my NFT, even though they look almost exactly alike, there's something about it that gives one more value than the other. But in terms of these mortgages, they wanted to turn them in, because they're going to digitize them all. The talk was to turn mortgages into NFTs. And again, that was talk that I heard about 2.5 years ago. I don't know where. I haven't heard any more about that.
Okay, all right. I would say this in the future, and I'd like to get this conversation, Brother Rob Strong, and tell me if you would be up to it, Fast Nickel. In one of our future shows, would you be interested in coming on and having this conversation with us? Would you be up for that, Brother Fast Nickel?
I would love to, because as much as, even though I've been in this 8 years, I'm still always learning, because as you know, from technology standpoint, they are changing things every 6 months. That is hard. It's hard for one person to keep up with everything.
Yeah, I agree.
And you know, that's the whole reason why I'm glad that you invited me, is because you and I both want our people to be as informed as possible. And the more people that have valid information that can help our people, the better.
Yeah, so Brother Rob Strong, send me an email, TOTW7101@gmail.com. That's TOTW7101@gmail.com, and we can set up a future show and have a discussion.
And if there's a particular topic that, because you know, in this case, you know, a lot of times when, like, Brother Jacoby, you'll say, "Hey, Brother Fascinator, you want to come on Friday?" And I'll go and, you know, put together some content to show. But if if there's a particular topic regarding crypto that you feel as though we should talk about, I'm more than happy to do my research, because trust me, I was very surprised about all of the information I found out about Africa. I didn't realize Africa was more advanced than what they are.
Yeah, I had no idea. I mean, I knew they were using it, but I never knew they were that advanced.
I totally agree.
So anything else, Brother Fast Nickel?
Nothing else from me. I don't know if you have any other questions, or anybody from the chat.
Do y'all have any questions, family? So one thing I would say is this: do your own research, and as we say, this is not financial advice, but I feel this is necessary to have a discussion, because I'm telling you, everything's changing in 2025, and
Yes.
the fact that Trump said that he's pro crypto now, and he's also talking about any crypto that's created in the U.S. is going to be tax exempt, which is going to force a lot of people into crypto if they don't have to pay taxes on it.
And his
Can you
cabinet
imagine?
members are all from crypto companies.
Yeah, exactly. And then they got Elon Musk, who's a technologist, for all lack of a better word. Everybody in this thing is IT related, right? Which is what
Yes.
crypto is. And so I will say this though. Crypto is complex. As Brother Fast Nickel said, he's been doing this 8 years, he's still learning. Right. And I'm definitely trying to play catch up, So, even Dante, Dante, he used to talk about it. Y'all might want to talk to him, because he knows some stuff too. Dante, the one who was telling me about it back in the day as well. So that's another person y'all might want to reach out to, because I don't know what he's doing with it now, but Dante definitely been trading a long time, right? And
Yeah,
so
I've heard him mention it a couple of times on the channel. And before we hang up, that's just because of what you showed in your video. I would like to just remind everybody, as you are opening up your account, be very careful. If you get emails from a Coinbase or from any of these places saying, hey, your wallet this, or you need to do this, delete that email, because they are a phishing email. They're scamming you. If you get a text from a company saying, hey, you didn't do this properly, whatever, no, they are not going to reach out to you. And if you click on any of those links, you're just looking for trouble. So stay away from it.
Yeah. And do you want to tell them the story you told me about how they conned you?
So
I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to,
I
but
mean,
the reason why is so that they know how to avoid it.
So I mean, literally, I've had about $100,000 in crypto, and I have at one time about $20,000 to $30,000 worth of NFTs. They're not worth that much now, but I'm holding them because I think that when the NFT market with the whole multiverse comes back into play, some of those are going to be worth money. But I've had a case where I've gotten rug pulled. The term is called rug pull, and so I got rug pulled out of $3,000. I lost $3,000 worth of XRP and Ethereum. I mean, at one point I used to have like 30,000 XRP. I don't have that much now, but I once got an email. That's the story that you're talking about. I got an email from Chase Bank, or what I thought was Chase, because I was just doing business with Chase, and so my guard was down. And if it were not for the blessing of the Ruach that literally said to me, "Be careful that they're trying to get you," that my whole focus changed, and then because I was almost in, I guess I was kind of in a lull, and just thinking, hey, you know what, this is okay. And then once the Ruach said that to me, my whole demeanor changed, and I realized what they were doing. And if I had not stopped them, I was almost gonna lose $2,500. And so that's, I mean, I've had I laugh with friends that have been in crypto for over 5 years. We call each other degenerates because it seems like people who are into crypto, they're looking for fast buck. But I don't know anybody who's been in crypto for 5+ years that hasn't been either rug pulled or lost their money because they send it to a wrong address. I mean, that's kind of like the battle scars of crypto. And so I'm trying to help people I mean, as much as I can try to help, maybe I can't always, but I'm trying to help people to not get to avoid those pitfalls.
So basically, they should never click on a link in the email. Only go to the apps that's in their phone or whatever, right?
Yes, and anybody who's looking to buy a cold wallet, do not buy it from Amazon. And another thing is if you're downloading wallets, which are considered hot wallets, onto your phone, what I would tell you all to do is make sure to call or go to your local phone company, whether it be T-Mobile, Verizon, whomever, and you tell them that you do not want any changes made to your account unless you show up there physically with an ID. Because when the crypto market was hot, there were inside people who were getting access to people's SIM chips. I'm not sure how, but basically they were going in because they were working inside for T-Mobile or for Verizon and doing things to people's account so they can get access to their phone and get a hold of their crypto. I mean, when you talk about crypto being a case where you just lost $1,000 worth and there's nobody you can call to get it back, you just have to be careful. If you set up a Coinbase or any of these accounts, you want to turn on all the security features as you can. You want to do two-factor authorization, or make sure you're getting a SMS text code to your phone, emails. Like, you want to make sure you turn everything on because these people are out to steal your crypto.
So here's what I think may happen as well, which is how it will lead to the mark of the beast, is that a lot of people are going to lose money, and they're going to lose access to their crypto because they're going to forget their passwords and their codes and all these things. And so a lot of people are going to be screaming for another way to secure their assets, right? Because everything is going to be on the blockchain, right? From your house to your car to your money to everything. And so then they're going to say, well, the only way to secure yourself is to have a chip in your right hand and forehead that's tied to your DNA profile. So no one but you can access your wallet, right? I'm like, you can see it, right? Same thing that's happening with the theft with the Ds that I showed you in the beginning. That's going to force people to go into the idea of smart contracts. Right. So this is where we're going. There's going to have to be a point in time probably where, it's going to get too close and we're going to say, I'm out. Right. So hopefully by then, the exodus will have happened. I don't know where y'all stand on that, since you got a lot of people denying the fact that the Bible teaches the second exodus. But, hopefully the second exodus happen and we all go home, and that's them folks' problem and not ours. Right.
Brother Yacoba, you brought up a great point. We know that Hasatan is devious. Like, he's not gonna, like, for those, I mean, most people, whether they go to church or not, at least most people have heard the term mark of the beast, or heard the term of their forehead, their hand, their right hand, etc. So if he was to if they were to say things like that, most people will be like, oh no, that's the mark of the beast. But if they phrase it in the way that you just did, to say, hey, this is to protect your crypto, people now are off guard and now allowing them to get chipped and not realizing that they should have never done it.
Yeah.
Because they didn't come out and say, hey,
people,
we're going to chip you because of the mark of the beast. If they said
Yeah,
that, then everybody would run.
exactly, everybody run. But it's gonna be like what happened over the last few years, where you needed to eat a lollipop. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people didn't listen, but you know that's how it is. That's human nature. They're not gonna listen. Some will. The Bible says the wicked will not understand, but the wise will understand. Hopefully, you're wise. You listen to this channel. But some of y'all listen to other people who tell you something else, that the mark of the beast already happened during slavery. Well, hey, y'all probably gonna go and take the chip, right? Because you think the mark happened already. I'm just saying. But anyway, all right. Anything else, Brother Fast Nickel?
No, other than thank you for your time and for sharing your platform with me.
All right. Thank you for coming on, Brother Fast Nickel. Really appreciate it. Do you have any final comments for the family?
Just stay guarded and stay under the wings of the Most High, because at the end of the day, that's ultimately who we need his protection and his guidance.
All right. Thank you, Brother Fast Nickel, for coming on. All right, fam. So go ahead. The link is pinned at the top of the chat. You want to learn about crypto, go over there and you can learn a lot from Brother Fast Nickel. And he's a very patient guy. I say he's probably one of the best people to learn from. So, fam, you know, these be changing times, right? These times changing, you know, and you're going to have a lot of people that's going to lead you astray, because we're in the times, those times, right? Ain't nothing you could do about it. Some people gonna listen, some people won't. Some people gonna be rich, some people gonna be broke, busted, and disgusted, right? Things are, look, like I said, it's just my opinion. I could have an opinion. 2025 gonna be different. It's gonna be night and day, right? In my opinion, you're gonna have robots. You're gonna have, you know, we already got the automatic cars. You're gonna have the 15-minute cities that's going to start coming into fruition. You're going to have the universal basic income that's going to be coming into fruition. You're going to have digital IDs that's going to be coming into fruition. And definitely you're going to have digital currency, right? We'll see. I'm not a prophet. It may happen in 2025. It may not. But their goal is, you know, also reduction. You all know what I'm saying when I say reduction. So expect a lot of changes. Make sure you line up with the word of the Most High, obey his law, statutes, and commandments, right? And serve Yeshua, right? And also, if you want to support this ministry, you can. You could give through Cash App, $TOTW7101. You can also give through PayPal, right? Just go to www.tailministries.com and click on the donations tab, and you can see the options to give, PayPal, things like that. So I would say, instead of being the victim and always being last, right? Because most of the Gentiles are already buying crypto because they know what's happening, right? They always know before us, right? You might at least want to put a little bit in there, even if you're scared, right? Put $50 every now and then in there. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you can afford that ain't gonna hurt you. It's better to have some than none, right? So that if and when this thing crashes, you won't be fully out of the system. You'd have something, right? So some people gonna be blessed, some people gonna be broke. The system is crashing by design, right? And no matter what anybody says, Tell Ministry is gonna tell you the truth. Love y'all, family. Peace and blessings, Israel. Your captivity is ending.